And gentlemen, welcome back. I'm your host, Rich. I'm joined by Ravage. We're already in picks and bans, so let's hop into that now. But Ravage, with the matches we've seen tonight, where does everyone stand in these division standings?
I'm glad you asked. Eager elevates on a little bit of a pickle right now. They really want to win out this next game because it puts them in a position where at least if Epsilon and Aware 2-0 on Friday night, that they're in a position to actually be in a tie. If not, they run the risk of sweating it a little bit going into Friday night. What ends up happening is if Epsilon and Aware 2-0 or even 1-0, they're in a three-way tie, or Elevate could just be eliminated from going to the land. They could actually get the 7th spot. So Elevate needs to win out this match here to really secure at least the fact that they're going to be guaranteed a tie.
No Zeus ban. No Zeus ban.
Oh my god.
All right, it's not first pick, though. It doesn't look like it's going to be first pick. All right, Elevate should probably pick Zeus.
I'm hoping. If not, actually, you want to know something? Eager's probably going to bring out another comp. They're not a one-trick pony, and they're probably not going to go run that again. But you have to think that they may go and pick up that Zeus again.
That was terrifying. I understand Eager has a very big god pool. They're looking really good right now, and they're probably going to want to mix it up. Yeah, we're going to see Sun Wukong and Zhang Kui get locked in.
The Zhang Kui is a good pickup because Zeus isn't going to be able to really burst him down. So that's why they didn't ban it out there. They were confident they could pick the Zhang Kui, and it wouldn't be a big issue. You're going to see that Athena picked up, though. And you have to think that Elevate knows something that we don't because they banned that in the first game. Eager actually going to ban out Thor, so that can't counteract the global pressure on the Athena. And you've also kind of blocked yourself out of the Giannis pick on the side of Elevate now as well, so you don't get that global pressure. Ice is actually going to be picked up by Sandbam this time. And that's a really good pick against Zhang Kui early, as it really zones Zhang Kui from getting up close and putting the damage he needs to on the wave. So that Spirit Ball and the Wind Gust, that combination, is going to be really brutal. And every time Zhang Kui comes up to actually clear that wave to get his regen, Isis can actually dispel.
Yeah, and we're going to see Air Cougar yet again on the Hou Yi, which is... he's dirty on that god.
Yeah, and he has been very effective with that. That ultimate has really played him well. You're going to see more circle ults coming out of the mid lane, except this time it's going to play into that healing meta with the Isis. So we're also going to see, I think that's the Eager skin on the Isis as well, which is a little bit entertaining. So yeah, with that you're still getting into the circle ultimates, even though it's not Zeus. Isis does play well against Zhang Kui, so that is a counter pick in a way.
Yeah, I'm really happy that Team Eager is going to be on the order side this time. Get to spectate them a little bit better. It's so hard to spectate the Chaos team with the way the spectator works.
And here's the other problem that Elevate's going to run into. Athena kind of counters the Khepri a little bit, but it's hard not to take the Khepri on the board, because every time Khepri comes in for that abduct, you just taunt him, right? Yeah. Now, the Khepri ultimate obviously is very hard to deal with at times, and it does have good wave clear. So just look for that. But Khepri isn't a real strong pick versus the Athena. I think that was more done for the team fight situation where they can put the ultimate on the Zhang Kui or they can put it on their carry.
Who do you think Elevate is going to pick up in that carry slot? Oh, there's the Shibalanka. Question answered.
Yeah, I was going to say X-Ball. The Medusa hasn't really worked out for him tonight, and neither did that Neath on Puka. So yeah, well, the X-Ball seems like the next logical choice for them to try.
What are Elevate's chances looking like right now of going to land?
It's a little bit more questionable than it was earlier in the evening. It looked like Elevate had a really good chance. They had 2 games in hand here tonight, and they had a real opportunity to if they split both games, they were at least guaranteed the tie, so they'd be able to fight for that last land spot, even if Aware or Epsilon did 2-0. It would require Epsilon and Aware to 2-0 if they do split this with Eager. The problem that they run into if they don't is if they get those 6 points, Aware or Epsilon, either one of them could pick up 1 point, and if they both pick up the 2 in both their matches, it actually eliminates Elevate. So Elevate, while that's not likely to happen, as they both have 2 tough matchups in XGN and Release, you have to think as Elevate, they want to make sure they pick up this other point here to guarantee that at least they're going to be fighting for that last spot.
We are going to see the Nemesis and Bellona get locked in, and those are 2 very strong gods. Bellona going to be able to, I think, go toe-to-toe with the Sun Wukong in the solo lane, and Nemesis in the jungle going to be able to shred through Zhang Kui, Khepri, and Sun Wukong.
And we've seen this Nemesis coming out from Koi's before, and it's come out in a similar comp where you had that Khepri, you had the Zhang Kui, and you had the Sun Wukong, actually. We've actually witnessed that exact matchup. So this is a comp that Eager has played before, And that Nemesis does do a really good job of getting up close and closing the gap with Zhang as he doesn't have an escape and it shreds his health in half at max rank on that ultimate. So look for that to be very effective. That's going to be a real kill lane in the middle lane if they're not careful with the Zhang on aggro. Also, that Hun Bats is going to be used mostly for disengage when those hard engages come from the Isis and the Nemesis.
Yeah, looking right now, early game, who are you going to favor, Ravage?
Right now, early game, the early game really goes to Eager at this point. Fading into late game, however, you have to favor some of the explosiveness on the X-Ball and the Zhang Kui. You put in the Capriole with the save. Late game, it looks like this matchup may trade a little bit on the favor of Elevate, but you have to think that Eager may be able to snowball off this if they do capitalize on that early game pressure, because no one really fades off on their team. They have pretty much sustained pressure through the game, but there are some late game heroes on the side of Elevate.
If Elevate can manage to subdue that early game pressure and get into the late game, maybe they can pull it off. But Team Eager looking so hot in the last game, they want the 2-0.
Yeah, they were looking really good here. We haven't really seen Elevate utilize Brochacho's proficiency and other supports yet, which is what I was excited to see, if there's going to be some more untraditional supports being used and being utilized into other team comps. And we haven't really seen that just yet. Yeah. So I'm fortunate to see that.
I know you did think that they were going to have that Hades support for a split second there, just because that's the type of stuff you have seen him do in the past. But speaking of interesting things going on with the roster, this is the first time we've seen that full Team Eager force.
It is the first time we've seen this full Team Eager force in a while. We've seen them, all their wins, their 2-0s, have been with their full roster. Yeah. The full roster is still yet to yield around to an enemy team. So with that being said, we'll see if Elevate can break that trend right now. And if not, it puts Elevate into a little bit of a worrisome situation.
If anyone could do it right now, I definitely think it would be this Elevate squad. We've seen them pull out very impressive wins many times. Do you think I feel like they're the type of team that even after a loss like that will come out not on tilt. They'll come out strong. They'll come out focused. Elevate, just a very disciplined team.
Yeah, they are a very disciplined team. It's a little bit different when you bring in a new support too. So you have to think that that's probably playing a factor here. Brochacho, not probably fully inundated with the Xbox just yet. And that's a fair assessment. We've seen everyone have a little bit of growth period with the Xbox. So let's see what happens with that. But he has looked a little bit lackluster, like he's been out of place in times, having trouble with the turning and just disengage from the team fights. So yeah, I mean, that's shown a little bit. He doesn't look quite as strong as what I've been told he has been looking like in scrims, and maybe it could be an off night. It could be a number of different scenarios playing into that.
Yeah, we did see quite a few misses coming in on that Jing Chen, not able to get the setup that he needed and not being able to get the pressure on.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate. Maybe it's nerves being on the big stage again. That could be a lot of it. There could be a lot of things going in here. There's a lot of pressure on this Elevate squad tonight. I know the CEO of Elevate pretty well, a really good guy. We actually had a big rivalry back in Battlefield when I used to play pro there, Mad Dog. And I will say that Mad Dog's a very competitive person, and that organization thrives on its competitive nature. I'm sure you've met Brandon, have you?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, a competitive guy, very intense. So with that, I mean, when you're Elevate, you're expected to win. You're expected to perform, and they want nothing but the best. And that's really what their organization strives on. So as Elevate right now, you had to be thinking, we've got to win this. And you've got a full organization behind you that's saying, let's win this. Let's get going.
Yeah, especially after you won NOLA. You won Worlds already. You've already performed really well at one LAN. Not making it to the next one, not making it to the LAN that LAN was really for, would be a huge letdown. That's
for sure. We're going to see Jelly break up the Liberté Athena. Obviously, in tribute to the people lost in the Paris attacks this week. God bless them. Yeah. That's been allowed in the SPL this week as well. Very, very honorable move by Hi-Rez, also making that skin worth one worshiper, as well as the French flag. Definitely pick those up. You want to read me in here, Rich?
Yeah, the game is going to start in 51, 50, 49, 48, 47, 46, 45.
We're going to see that big 5-man grouping going to come out here from Elevate nice and early as they make the move in to get an aggressive ward here on the mid Harpies. We're not going to see the traditional 2 or 3 wards start coming out from these teams, however, only from Eager. Eager gets 2 aggressive wards on the mid Harpies there. And actually, the ward popped here late. Actually, there is one on the blue buff, so maybe look for an early invade here on the side of Chapo and Uzi, because they do have a nice little invade composition here against the Bologna and the Nemesis.
I'm really going to be watching Sam Bam quite a bit after his performance on that Zeus in the last matchup. I definitely think he's going to be able to do work on this Isis.
Sam Bam has been traditionally good on Isis. Is one of his better gods. I've seen that come out of him a couple times. Probably his most played god over the last couple months here, if you look at the land play, is probably the Giannis. The Giannis has been a very favorable pick here for Eager for the global roam potential, but they seem to be mixing it up here a little bit, and I think it's a real strong pick against that Zhongkui. So we're going to see the mid-camp start come out of Eager here. They're going to get that early pressure, that early ward, only there in case someone came to have a look.
Yeah, they absolutely melted that mid camp, and we're going to see Sam Bam get into lane so much quicker than Aggro. Aggro's probably not going to lose any XP here, but Sam Bam's just really going to put on that pressure as quick as he can.
Aggro's going to lose some gold, though, as the tower
he's
gets on
going to lose
those minions.
some gold. Yeah, the tower's going to take some gold from him, and it looks like Nemesis and Sam Bam are going to be able to secure this second mid camp. They're coming in hot already, and we do see Athena right now trying to engage. Does get the abduction from Khepri, but Jelly's not going to go down.
Yeah, Athena works for weird after that, and that's kind of a wash with Athena. Sometimes you need to be a little bit careful. And Sam Bam is, you're going to see the pressure come out here, but the auto attacks from the Isis, that 1, 2, and then the 3 stack of the auto attacks that come out and make lane clearing so easy for her.
Jelly getting right up in Kepri's face right now. He's
here we go. Look for the
right into
Puka.
Puka, and we're going to see Air Cougar follow up a nice ricochet, but it doesn't do enough damage to bring him down, but it's going to push Puka right back into that tower.
This is what makes Jelly one of the top tier supports on Xbox right now. He is just so mechanically good, and he just is awesome at rotations, and he's so good at not taking archer damage, which is a fundamental skill to have as a support. He's just able to get in there just the right way, so he's not aggroing those archers.
Yeah, we're going to see
Look at the
Puka
rotation from after the chopper early.
Yeah, we are going to see right
now.
now.
This every match.
Yeah, he's so good at it.
Yeah. Level 3 or 4 every time he goes for that early rotation in the lane. He doesn't wait for the ultimate like a lot of junglers do.
He also realizes that right now, not the best time to get aggressive. He looks, reads the situation, and very quickly does move back. We're seeing Jelly just play so aggressive though right now. I'm really liking this play by him. He is going to eat a Sunflare here though.
A little bit of a mistiming there by Chapo and aggro there in the mid lane, as you'll see them actually go back and do those back camps, and you're going to see Sam Bam and McCoys actually push in that wave, and they're actually going to lose gold because of that misrotation. It would have been better for him to go back to lane and make sure that was
does
pushed.
Connect on El Chapo there. Sam Bam looking really good, hitting everything.
Yeah, he'll look good. He's going to put on a lot of pressure on that lane early. It's just the way Isis is. With that Spirit Ball and the Wind Gust, puts so much pressure on that lane.
Yeah, and it's forcing El Chapo and like just to bounce back and forth. He can't actually get in a lane right now and do any damage.
Yeah, they're at this awkward position where they're just dancing in between the dual lane and the mid lane at times. Well, we're finally going to see him make this rotation. El Chapo is sitting in the wings here. Look for Khepri to make the move up here as they still haven't let level 5.
There it is, the ultimate is down. They're going to open up on Air Cougar. The abduct does come out, and we're going to see Air Cougar able to disengage. What a kick that Ho Yi has. And Jelly just gets that charge out of there.
Yeah, and Air Cougar isn't home free just yet. He's taking a lot of damage from Chapo. He's going to get the stun off here as we see the rotation from Sandboy and McCoys. El Chapo going to pick up the first blood. However, Spirit Ball going to go down and get 2, and the Nemesis Ult going to get on Chapo as we see the Circle of Protections going down as well. Going to get the heals down on Sandboy.
But it's not going to be enough. He is going to focus down El Chapo. Jelly picking up the actual kill.
Look at Sam Bam getting that 2-man Spirit Ball. The Wind Gust going to go in there as well. Going to bring Puka down to half health. Sam Bam going to get snared as Jelly comes in with the taunt. Look at the Dispel coming down as well. Sam Bam, 2-man Spirit Ball. Puka getting the auto attacks off, and that could be it for Sam Bam. But look at this body blocks by McCoys. That is a huge play as we see Air Cougar back in this extended engagement, and that could be all she wrote for Puka as there's the dash from Jelly to secure that kill.
Jelly with that beautiful charge. Air Cougar still in pursuit, but he may not be able to close this space, but Athena still chucking spears. Why the Spirit Ball? Did you see that?
Sam Bam has been hot on those Spirit Balls. He hit 4 right in a row. 4 two-man Spirit Balls in that extended engagement. What a job by them to keep that engagement going throughout. There comes the ricochet coming out from Hu Yi. El Chapo going to get Sam Bam on the back line. What a transition over there. But look at El Chapo. He could be in danger as Hu Yi ultimate comes down. Look at Koi's coming in as well. And he is in a little bit of trouble as Jelly, Koi's, and Cougar are going to get on out of that situation as the shield reflects damage back on the monkey.
Yeah, we're going to see Matt Koiz go back here. Do you think Sam Bam maybe got a little too greedy there? He was doing really well, but he was low. He was low. It doesn't matter how many Spirit Balls you do connect. Eventually, someone's going to get out of that stun and be able to push into you.
On 2 occasions there was a little bit of missed time on those respawn timers as El Chapo managed to get all the way back up the lane. And right before that, we seen Cougar get back into that extended engagement and just make quick work of Puka. You're going to see that Spirit Ball hit again from Sam Bam all the way over that wall. He's very good at that.
Yeah, Sam Bam been hitting absolutely everything right now. Absolutely even on the board. 2-2 tied up. Team Eager and Elevate both getting 2 kills.
How about Matt Goy's those body blocks? Did you see that?
Oh, that was absolutely insane. Absolutely insane.
Yeah, just barely saved Sam Bam's life there. He was as good as done.
So I'm surprised that Sam Bam didn't go back a little bit earlier.
You see DeWurst there? You see those pings coming out there as they call that? DeWurst knows that El Chapo's there, but he knows what he can do. He can put the damage back on them. He had the bludgeon ready to go as he jumped on in. Good read there by DeWurst. You see the ping.
Yeah, DeWurst read that like an open book, and he actually sent them both back. They weren't able to make anything out of it. DeWurst going to be able to push up the wave really far here. You're
actually going to see DeWurst actually ping the map right where he was, which I found interesting for sure.
It looked like Humbats was pinging himself.
Yeah, it
that's
definitely
how accurate
did.
It was.
Right on top of him.
Just really good vision there, and you can kind of see why DeWurst, he has such good map awareness. You see why he's a pro player. We are going to see El Chapo once again lurking in the wings. He's going to look to try to move in, maybe engage on Sam Bam, but Sam Bam's going to move right back with Jelly and Matt Koiz. They're going to pick up this damage camp without a problem, but there are quite a few members of Elevate lurking around looking to invade this camp.
And there we go. Looks like it's going to be secured on side Eager. There's the Tonkin Command with Spirit Ball going to be compounded in there. El Chapo going to get hit with that one. Jelly taking a lot of damage as the Humbats ult and the Zhonghui ult take, and he is going to go down to the Capri. Cougar moving in from the back line. He could find himself in trouble here as 4-man group around him.
Yeah, it looks like everyone's going to play it smart and disengage there. Sam Bam, though, once again hitting a Spirit Ball right through that wall.
Yeah, Sam Bam's been good with those ones. Jelly going to find himself caught out there as Elevate takes that pick. This one really back and forth. Here's another engagement going on with El Chapo. Nemesis ult going to go on top of him as he tries to jump away. He's at half health already. There's the double dash as Cougar puts the ultimate down as well. Sam Bam making his way back in. Athena ult coming as well. Kepri ult is popped. And they're going to wait that one out as El Chapo looks to jump away. There comes the Wingus, and Jelly dashes in, likely to get that kill. And here it is. Just look for the spare to hit any moment. And he's not going to get it. El Chapo's actually going to get away.
That was a really good pick initially by Team Eager, but that Scarab, that ultimate just saved him, blessing in the Scarab.
Absolutely crazy. Jelly moving in with the taunt on the Capri once again, and compounded with the Hu Yi stun. He is down to half health as Sam Bam pushes that wave into mid lane. DeWurst actually dueling over that blue buff while we were watching that, just barely lost it to Sun Wukong.
Everyone just getting so aggressive here. It looks like Jelly may look to connect, but Puka is going to move back to his tower, not give him the opportunity to do that. Can we see them open up on Sun Wukong right now? Is that even a good move? Matt Koiz is going to try to at least pressure him a little bit here, but it's just going to, Uzi's just going to kind of walk back. It looks like Matt Koiz is just going to stay in this lane a little bit to make sure it doesn't push too far, but Uzi is able to just flatten that wave with his cudgel.
Yeah, he's been able to actually man on DeWurst here for a little bit. But Nemesis is doing a lot of damage to him. They're going to trade out with Matt Koiz here as he covers the lane.
That Humbats is definitely still a very large threat. El Chapo looking very good in this game.
Yeah, look over in the dual lane here now. Look at the stacking. Stacking very even right now. 17 stacks on the Dev Gauntlets from Hu Yi, and then we got 15 on the Transcendence from the X-Ball. Hu Yi actually doing a really good job there. He'll be able to outbox X-Ball going into the mid game here now with those Devour Gauntlets and the Death Toll.
Right now, it's pretty much knotted up. Looking at the graphs for the first time, 331 XP difference, sorry, 136 XP difference, and a gold difference of 457. The XP is swinging all over the place because both teams are both farming so well. It's bouncing within 200 gold in favor of, 200 XP in each team, bouncing back and forth.
Yeah, this matchup has been reminding me of the Eager Elevate matchup Zol. Here comes the Hunbat's ult going to come down on Jelly, but that's going to be a wash. Nothing going to come as that one. X-Ball ult going to be wasted as well. As we see the worst being chased down by Ozzy over in the solo lane. Those guys are barely trading any damage now.
Yeah, Team Eager may look for a little bit of a chance to get aggressive here now that they know those 2 ults are down.
And that's exactly what you're going to see happen here very soon. Look for Huyi to get aggressive and step up here on the X-Ball more and more.
Yeah, we may actually see a rotation come through. Athena is moving in, so is Khepri. Khepri still does have his ultimate, which could be very big in a boxing match, even if it's going in favor of Air Cougar. There's Jelly opening up on Puka just a little bit here. Air Cougar trying to step 2, try to push in those auto attacks. He's going to connect with 2 of them. McCoy's and Sam Bam also in tow. The Spirit Ball isn't going to connect, though. Khepri going to move back, and we're going to see Puka move with him.
That's for sure. Dwarf's getting the level advantage here now in the solo lane, putting a lot of damage on Ozzy here with the tier 2 male online. As we see Ozzy having to go up in his ultimate, Dwarf is manning him up close and personal right now as his defense, making Sun Wukong's damage negligible.
Yeah, looking right now, I'm not sure who El Chavo is going to try to jump in on, and he's definitely looking for something. It looks like Athena's going to find him first. Spirit Ball does come out. It doesn't do much, though. We are seeing Air Cougar pushing quite a bit of damage. That Ring of Purification is just not going to do much.
That's only the 3rd Spirit Ball I've seen Sandbam miss this game. 1 over the wall amid Harpies. 1 over the wall at the attack, damage buff. And here we go. Taunt's going to come out here as well. Double dash from McCoy's Dispel going to go down with the Spirit Ball. And aggro barely actually takes any damage from that.
Yeah, they're very tanky right now.
Dwarf's going to feast on the mana buff of Ozzy as he's pushed him out of lane. Tonight we will feast in your jungle, says Dwarst.
We actually see Air Cougar drop his ultimate there. It does connect twice with Shibalanka. It doesn't get an incredible amount of damage on him, though. But Air Cougar in a position right now, low on mana. He's probably going to take this attack speed camp and then go back. But El Chapo in the jungle does see Air Cougar. Doesn't engage.
Yeah, not a whole lot going to come there. They're just trying to put pressure around that Goal Fury portion of the maps, and they get the warding complete. They're going to look, there's not a whole lot of warding actually on the Goal Fury. The only ward that's there right now is Eager's. They do have a defensive ward there as well, right on the outset of the Goal Fury. We're going to see the mid-Harpy wards opted into by Elevate as they look for any rotation over there. As they can see, the 3-man rotation going towards Goal Fury right now off the mid-Harpy scamps.
Yeah, we do see Air Cougar sink a few shots in. Nemesis, though, trying to clear up vision just a little bit. El Chapo pushing just a little bit, uses that BA to close some space, but does have to disengage.
Yeah, they'll get that ward off there. They'll win the ward battle on their side of the map, and that's what you want to do at this point in the game. You want to make sure your defensive wards are active.
So much is going to come down to that. If you're losing the vision game, you're going to get opened up on, and you're going to melt.
And you're going to see how they crossed over that aggressive ward, and then they moved over to get that. And by the time they were, El Chapo knew where they were moving to, knew their movements on the aggressive ward, so they were able to come up and defend their ward and make sure that McCoys actually had to disengage.
Yeah, expecting a big team fight to go down relatively soon. We are going to see people go back right now, get a few items online, but people are starting to get online.
They are. They're starting to get online. We're going into that mid-game, the sweet spot of the game, where a lot of these gods start to come online really well. This is where Isis is really at her strongest. She starts to get her first full-tier item online. And then you look at Zhonghui, same type of thing. He's about to have his Warlock Sash, compounded with those pen boots.
Yeah, right now, Air Cougar and Jelly both in lane. They're clearing it up very fast. We may see, Puka's going to be able to read that very well. He knows it could get aggressive here, and he has support on the way.
Yeah, and here we go. Khepri moving in. Jelly going to meet them with the double taunt going to come down, and there's Air Cougar just putting the damage down on Brochacho and El Chapo. There we go. The Spirit Ball going to go down as well. Circle protections there, and El Chapo going to move in. Sandbam very low as the Fear No Evil comes out. That's going to be a kill by El Chapo, who Yelt going to be answered, however, and is going to put down a lot of damage, but not quite enough to turn that team fight around.
Yeah, that's very good for Elevate right now. Jelly's able to spring in here on aggro, and the damage is coming in. Air Cougar picks up that kill. McCoy's also rotating back around. We may see another kill, but Jelly is going to be the one to fall. Not how Team Eager thought that team fight was going to go.
Not at all. Elevate's starting to win these out just a little bit, but still only 300 gold in the difference right now as they rotate for the Gold Fury.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to be able to take this Gold Fury very convincingly. The main line of defense they have
worse,
here...
though.
Do they not? Okay. We do see Dwurst coming in right now.
Look how they line up there in the blind spot. I love how Elevate Eager do that all the time. Dwurst is going to just go in there. He does not care. He is so much further ahead than these guys in level. Look at the Athena all coming out now as well. Eagles Rally going to miss. However, it's going to give him a little bit of protection as Uzi makes the rotation in as well. Cougar in a little bit of trouble here now as he has 4 men all around him. Look at that Khepri dot on top of him as we see Dwurst is getting in there to put the bludgeon down.
Dwurst able to buy so much time there, but it's just not going to be enough. Team Eager getting pushed off this Gold Fury. Athena still in there. May have to open up again, but it's not looking like a safe bet at all. Uzi and Aggro moving in, and Khepri and Shibalanka moving in from the opposite side.
Dwurst did his job there. He wanted to buy time and kicked him off the Gold Fury, and he did just that. No deaths going to be expended on the side of Eager, so good job.
Yeah, that was even more of a win than I thought it was initially. They did just take that ward down and got their own in place. So good job to Dwurst. You may have just saved your team an absolute snowball.
Yeah, and this game, still incredibly even. Only 600 and 530 are the differences in gold and XP right now, both in favor of Elevate. And that is completely considered close at this point in the game, as that's absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, you have to really think that Gold Fury, that little stall by Dwurst may have been way more important than you could have even imagined, because it's just a stall. You're not necessarily getting a favorable trade or anything like that, but it was worth so much. It was worth not being behind another 1,000 gold. Sorry, 1,500 at this point, right?
Sorry?
How much is the Gold Fury worth right now?
It's somewhere around 1,500.
Yeah. We're going to see Jelly in a pretty good place to potentially open up on El Chapo. He does get the taunt off on Puka and El Chapo, and Air Cougar's going to follow up with a big ultimate, but McVoice is going to be the one to ultimately finish off El Chapo. This is a big swing for Team Eager. They're finally getting a favorable team fight. They're still behind by 1 kill, but it's not going to be that much of an issue because they just opened up Gold Fury. Zhang Kui going to be the only one who can actually get in here and kind of disrupt, but the damage is coming in hot. It is below 60% already. Jelly going to try to body aggro here. Khepri is going to get the abduction off.
Yeah, that's going to be it for the Gold Fury. Double Spirit Ball going to go down there, but beads are pop as we see the Khepri also put on aggro just a little bit early as McVoice is being focused down. Uzi going to pick up that kill as we see the Cudgel going down to Sandbam now. Sandbam in a lot of trouble. The Wingus not doing anything to penetrate Uzi as he has that heavy hammer.
Elevate turning it around. We are going to see Uzi following Air Cougar. This is definitely the man he wants to kill, but it looks like the Gold Fury is going to be more important. Did reset from the engagement Eager had, and it is back below 50% now. Athena and Air Cougar, the only ones remaining up to defend this Gold Fury. Khepri gets the abduction off, getting quite a bit of damage into Athena. Air Cougar does manage to disengage, and we're going to see right now, Team Elevate is going to take that Gold Fury, and potentially Jelly's life. There it is. Puka going to take it.
That's a big swing by Elevate there, and that has tilted the scales in their favor, not by much, still only at the 1,500 gold mark, but they are looking at this tower,
yeah,
and you have to
turn
think
on this
if they
tower
can take
right now,
this, it's going to make a difference.
Yeah, if they manage to take this tower, it would be absolutely astronomical. We are seeing Air Cougar creeping back up from the fountain right now, but he's not sure what to do here. He's going to eat that Sunflare, and he's going to have to dive out of here. This tower is going to fall any second now. He does drop his ultimate. It puts some damage onto Uzi, but it doesn't look like he'll be able to kill Uzi. Khepri does attempt to get him. The Shibalanka ult is popped. Aggro pouring damage in, and it looks like Puka's actually going to finish the kill, and if you want it to be on anyone's hands, you want it to be on Puka's, and now they turn their vision to Jelly, and Jelly is melting under this pressure. McVoice is trying to salvage the situation. He's healthy right now, and he's going to get aggro, and now he's going to look for Khepri.
That Eagles rally was huge there by Dwurst to get in there. They were going to see the Khepri ult on Puka as we see the chase is on for members of Eager. Puka going to pick up the kill on Jelly, however. Sandbam going to secure the kill on Puka. Here is Hunbats coming in looking for McCoys, but the Circle's Protections is down. That's going to save his life, but Chapo doing a ton of damage. Uzi going to pick up the kill on Sandbam. Look at El Chapo getting chewed up by McCoys, and Uzi just out-dueling everyone. Can Dwurst pick up the last kill here and make the deicide?
Everyone is dead. This is insane. We're actually going to see Uzi gets out of there with that teleport. That's a very good teleport by him. That was an absolute bloodbath. No one gets the deicide. Both teams within one god. Let's look at the graphs right now. That it actually looks like it was favorable for Elevate.
Oh yeah, definitely favorable for Elevate. They're up gold 2,200 right now. They've snowballed from that Gold Fury and actually given themselves an extra 700 to topple on top of that, as well as the XP difference.
Yeah, those towers are really, that's what pushed them that extra step.
It did for sure. It was absolutely an insane push by Elevate right there to really turn the tides in their favor.
Right now, what does Eager have to do to salvage the situation? Like you said, they don't necessarily come online at any particular time, but they have a sustained pressure. We are getting kind of into the late game here. We are seeing it's mid-game-ish. We see level 12s, 14, 14, 15, and 18 for Team Eager. What do they have to do right now to get back in this game?
They've just gotta hold it down, make sure they fight the fights they need to. That fight turned out really well for them once they picked off the Hui ultimate. Instead of going for the Dia side there and trying to make up for the lost team fight they just had, they should have just taken out their wins. They got those 2 kills there. Instead, what ended up happening is Sandman got picked off in the circle protection, as well as Matt Goys.
They are going to lose another tower though here.
Yeah, there we go. Is he going to pick that up as well as Dwarfs makes the rotation over? Look for a fight though on the left-hand side of the map. Eager knows that Kepri is on that side.
We're seeing McCoys and Athena getting really aggressive here. Puka's going to have to move back. They may push into this tower, but that will leave them really weak to a gank from the mid lane.
That's going to be tier 2 mid lane. As we see the engagement going down here, Puka 2-man dive going down on him as well. Irkuger going to pick up that kill. Look for the tier 2 on their mid lane to go down as well, as it's going to be a race for towers right now. As we see the first one go down from Eager, they're going to look for the tier 2 as well.
Yeah, they have to look for that tier 2. Right now, we're going to see Humbats. What's the move here? Do they have to try to make it back to this tier 2 tower? We are going to see pressure being put on by Uzi. He's going to be able to zone them off. That may be a loss for Eager. They just lost their tier 2, and Humbats, Kepri, and Zhang Kui are hot in pursuit. They may be able to make it here. We do see El Chapo open up. Matt Koi's taking quite a bit of damage here, but El Chapo not looking very healthy himself. The ultimate is thrown down, and Matt Koi's still trying to get back.
Circle Protections is barely going to save Irkuger right now. Aggro in there. Look for the Zhang Kui damage to come out here. Here's Sun Wukong, and Irkuger just waits for his ultimate to take just a little bit as he jumps on out of there as well.
Yeah, no one has gone down yet, but no one is healthy at this point in the game. Who won that engagement? Do you give it to Elevate because they took the tier 2? Yeah, definitely looking good for them.
Yeah, one bad team fight for Eager right now, and they can push straight down the mid lane and take that Phoenix very easily.
Yeah, and right now you definitely have to say Elevate's looking pretty strong in all the team fights.
Elevate's looking very strong, but Eager just had a nice turn there as well. They're starting to come together a little bit.
Yeah,
the thing that's getting scary is X-Ball has 4 stacks on this passive.
Yeah, looking at the graphs though, we are seeing it has been a steady increase into Elevate's favor. But as we watch, they're definitely, Eager's not out of this game by any means, and we've seen them do crazier. Gold Fury is up.
We've seen them do crazier than come back from a 3,600 gold deficit. They can come back here if they want it. And the same went for Elevate last game. I wouldn't have counted Elevate out at any point last game until Eager really started to snowball near the end there.
And we're seeing everyone near this Gold Fury right now. Who will be the first one to open up? The mark does come down on El Chapo, but none of the auto attacks are going to hit. It looks like Uzi is getting slammed right now, but he is so tanky. His cudgel is going to come down on Sambam. The Shiva Lock Ult is going to be popped, and no one's taking too much damage yet.
Yeah, El Chapo and Uzi are in trouble right now as the Hui ultimate goes down. Nemesis is all procced on Uzi. He's going to go up in the air to negate that. Irkuger being focused down on the back line. He's going to step in the circle protection, but Sandman's going to go down. Look at Uzi just chewing up the back line here with aggro. As we see DeWorst trying to duel it out with 3 members to Elevate. Uzi looking weak here now as the taunt comes out, and we're going to see him fall to Jelly. But Puka is going to move in, and he's going to secure the kill on DeWorst. That's a trade of soul laners, but the problem is Sandman has already gone down as well. Aggro going to pick up the kill on McBoys.
Yeah, they're trying to push into Air Cougar right now, but it looks like he's going to be able to get back just fine. You really have to chalk a lot of that up to Uzi, though. He was just so tanky, and it bought everyone enough time to really leak damage onto the other players.
Yeah, that's for sure. Jelly going to make it in here now as the Phoenix is being focused down. El Chapo in a little bit of trouble here. He's going to get on out of there, look for the body blocks. Not going to be enough as the Archers are too strong. Going to take down that Phoenix, even though Jelly was doing a good job of blocking the X-Ball from hitting that tower.
We've been seeing this from Elevate quite a bit tonight. They really know sometimes it is worth losing your life to stall on time and to get the rest of your team to complete the objective that is more important than kills.
Yeah, that's for sure. Look for Eager to try and sit through this one. They'll put a little bit of lane pressure on here. Maybe try and get this Gold Fury while everyone's gone back for the buy. Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. Here, Sentry going to go down. Him, Air Cougar, and Jelly will try and secure this. They place it right in the right place.
Does that open up Fire Giant for Elevate?
I know it doesn't, because they're so far away from that side of the map. They're actually going to have to opt to secure the Gold Fury because they won't get the Fire Giant in time. They'll complete the Gold Fury and be able to contest.
It's not below 50% yet. It looks like they will be able to engage here. Aggro getting there first, and Puka not too far behind. And here we see Kepri walking right into this party. The blue team is going to secure the Gold Fury, but damage is still coming in. Kepri gets off a strong abduct onto Jelly, but they aren't able to melt him down as quick as they want to. Jelly still taking quite a bit of damage. He may fall. Aggro is going to be able to take him.
Yeah, he's going to fall, but that is worth it for Eager. They're going to narrow that goal lead just a little bit. They just have to be able to be ready to go for Fire Giant right now.
Over to that Fire Giant
coming out now.
Yeah, they're running right over to it. Definitely a smart move too. Who is going to contest? We do have 4 members still up from Team Eager. They need to get over here as quick as they can. We're seeing Aggro take down the wards.
Eagles Rally and Hui's Ultimate are still up here, so 2 great objective secures as we see Uzi moving in. He's caught the Worst out, and they are going to fall off the Fire Giant to Worst. Not taking any damage really here. And there is finally going to be the start. There's Nemesis all in El Chapo. Hui all going to go down to compound with that as well. Kepri all going to be popping El Chapo nice and early in this team fight. And we're going to see Uzi just trying to chase everyone down here. But Mac Poison the Worst making the turn on him. Sambam looking for the Dispel. Not going to hit it, but the Spirit Ball is going to get him. Hui Ultimate coming out into Worst, but the protections from Athena are going to be put on to Worst. He is in a lot of trouble. Going to fall to Puka as we see 2 members of Elevate very low. And
Elevate not necessarily looking healthy, but they are able to pursue Jelly just enough to zone him off. Elevate not looking very strong to take the Fire Giant right now. They aren't healthy, and an invade would be absolutely devastating to them. I'm curious to see what their next move is here. Jelly taking quite a bit of damage from the Sun Flare.
Yeah, Jelly going to be able to dash on out of that one. Putting himself in better positions here now. He's been using that dash to engage, getting himself caught out in the middle of 5 people. So he's saving that for his escape, as that's the position he is in right now. A little bit, taking a lot of damage from that Hunbats.
Shiva Lock on is going to be popped. That's going to slow down McCoy's just enough for Puka to close the space. He's taking so much damage. Kepri secures it with the abduction. Aggro gets the kill.
Eager just find themselves getting really split here in the team fights, and we're going to see Aircougar taking a lot of damage to Uzi, and that could be a little bit of trouble here for him. He's going to jump away. Dispel and Spirit Ball going to put down on Uzi. Sambam stepping up on Uzi, and the Fire Giant has been started up by Elevate. The only thing that's going to come out of this is the fact that they may pick up the kill on Uzi, but he's going to ult on up, and the Phoenix is fixing to respawn here soon, but are they going to be able to defend against a full team of Elevate with Fire Giant?
Uzi will not die. We're going to see the Fire Giant fall down. Now we have the full team loaded up with that Fire Giant buff. Uzi can't die. He can't die right now. He is such a tank. We see him 1v2ing so many times, and just he's taking some damage, but he's always able to disengage, and that's really the strength of Sun Wukong's kit.
Yeah, that is really the strength, and the strength of the build that he has put online here. He has a Mystical Mail with a Mail of Renewal. Really no magic resist at this point in the game, but he's building into it right now, finally. He's actually not getting any damage from Sambam, even though he has no magic resist right now. And Sam's built double penetration. He just doesn't have... The problem that Sam has right now is he doesn't have a whole lot of magic power, which is the issue. And a Mail Renewal build... he's got that defense, but he's not doing the damage he needs to do as Isis.
Team Elevate is barely breaking the 4K mark on both gold and XP in their favor on the graphs. Not completely out of reach for Team Eager by any means, but this Fire Giant buff is going to pose a huge threat. It really comes down to these next few minutes if they're able to stay alive.
Yeah, they're going to get these 2 tier 2 towers quite easily. X-Ball going to burn down the first on the duo side of the map, and the monkeys doing monkey things on the tier 2 in the solo lane as well. So they need to just tighten up here on their Phoenixes and hope they can defend here against a 2-3 split.
Yeah, we're seeing damage coming in from minions right now too. It looks like the Phoenix is getting a little bit beat up, and it looks like Sun Wukong's actually going to go for the mid one, while the rest of the team does go for the one on the right.
Yeah, mid one only has about 1,000 health, as it was already taken down, so Sun Wukong will easily get that one.
Yeah,
they'll look to defend their full health Phoenix here, as El Chapo's going to find himself very low, going to be taken down by the worst, and here we see the engagement. Aggro coming in, looking for the ultimate from Zongquay. The circle protection is down. That should be able to sustain them through with the Hui ult, going to be able to zone. Ozzy up in the air right now, diving right to the back line, looking for the kill on the Aircougar. Spirit Ball going to go out as well, not going to hit anyone, but Ozzy going to pick up the kill on Aircougar. Puka going to get Jelly, as Ozzy just continues to wreak havoc on the back line of Eager.
Elevate starting to run away with it. Everyone looking very low. They are trying to rush back to their fountain, and everyone who does not make it back will die. We do see both Sam Bam and D-Worst do make it back in time, but the rest of the team is coming to beat down on them. First, they're opening up on D-Worst. He is at half health right now, and he's going to continue taking more and more damage coming in on the Titan, too. It's under 70%. D-Worst about to go down. He's got to run back to the fountain. He is going to make it, but this Titan has nowhere to run.
Look at the 3-man Spirit Ball going to come out there as well, but the Titan just getting melted down. Sandbam and DeWurst just don't have enough damage to do anything there. Sandbam for that entirety of the game, 10,000 damage is all he had there. He was one of the lowest on the charts, just above Athena.
Man, Elevate. They took a beating in the last match, and they returned it to Eager in this game.
That was a crazy, crazy game. As we're going to see Elevate at least manage, they will at least have a tie, okay? They will at least have an opportunity to fight for that last spot. In the worst case scenario, in the best case scenario, they'll be going to LAN. Depending on the results of Friday night, Eager tonight has secured their spot as well as Release.
Eager still has a chance for first place too, right?
Eager does have a chance for first place.
Okay. All right,
yeah,
cool.
They still have a match on Saturday night.
Yeah,
or Friday night, sorry.
Friday. Is it against Aware?
XGN.
Oh, it's against XGN. Okay, that's going to be a rough one, though.
Yeah, that could be the battle for first place right there. It really depends the result of the Epsilon XGN game.
First and second place are definitely the most important positions coming with seeding coming into the LAN, because both first and second place are going to get a bye. They're the two teams that will.
Yeah, they are. So, I mean, that could really fall into Eager, Release, or XGN's hands right now. We really have to wait and see what the results of those games are on Friday night.
Let's take a peek at the division standings. They're not updated with what happened tonight, but it will give us a good idea of how things are going to move forward in our last day of Smite Pro League before the finals on Friday. As you can see right now, this is saying that Juice Gaming is in first place, and is that still technically true or no? Actually, Eager is going to take that first place spot now.
Yeah, it looks like we have a three-way tie, honestly, looking at that first place.
Okay.
Looks like we have Release, Juice, and Eager are going to tie up for that first place. XGN just closely in tow at that fourth place. We're going to see Elevate tied with the fourth place position as well with XGN. XGN does have 2 games in hand. That's something to take note of. They have 2 games to play Friday night, one versus Epsilon, which hinges on Epsilon having a chance to compete for the Pro League, and one for against Eager as well. So XGN also in fear of tying for that last place as well, that last LAN spot if they're not careful.
Let's jump over to that schedule for Friday. Friday being, once again, the last day of league play of this season. After this, we will know 100% sure who is going to the LAN. At 6 o'clock, we're going to see Epsilon Esports versus XGN. At 7:30, Release Gaming versus Aware Gaming. Also, during that 7:30 slot, it's going to be that Eager match versus XGN. Hopping over to the LAN details one more time. Buy your tickets today. They're selling out so fast. Come see me and Ravage there. It's going to be live in Columbus, Ohio, December 5th and 6th. It's going to be the top 6 teams from this league, and they are fighting for a $50,000 prize pool and a spot in SWC. You can pick up those tickets at mlg.tv/smite tickets. But Ravage, what's your prediction? What 2 teams do you think are not going to go? I'll give you a hint. There's a pretty easy one.
Onslaught has already eliminated themselves. They actually made a post here earlier just going over some of the trials and tribulations they had and some of the struggles they had since the LAN due to commitment and that type of thing. And the roster changes they've gone through, it's a very interesting read. I'll retweet it after we're done with this matchup, but very interesting read and how the pro scene can kind of make or break you and really test your resolve as a team, and how that psychology really comes into it. So I'll retweet that after, tweet by Onslaught. But yeah, I think it's really a wash right now. Obviously, the 2 teams that are in the worst position are Aware and Epsilon. I think the team that is in the absolute worst position right now is Epsilon. as I think they have a harder matchup versus XGN, who's been really catching fire lately. Epsilon has been on a bit of a cold streak, but with their full roster, if they have that for Friday, they have a real chance of putting the pressure on XGN, as these guys have been a very consistent team when they catch fire. And if they've ever caught fire before, just look last night. Last night was a good indication that Epsilon is catching fire and they are playing well, Rich. They have a chance to upset XGN tomorrow. Do not discount this team. These guys are quality, good players.
Their
and
roster,
they can show up.
They showed up last night. They really showed up. So it's all going to be determined on Friday. It's down to the wire. We still don't know the top 6 teams, and we don't know who's going to take first and second place. Who's your prediction for first and second place, though? I'll ask you that.
First and second place, I think it's going to be Eager and XGN at this point.
Yeah.
Release does have a chance, though. They're in an opportune position because they have the game against Aware. Aware is fighting for their lives, but they didn't look too strong against Epsilon yesterday, and Release has been very strong, and I think that they could possibly 2-0 Aware tomorrow, and if they can do that, they'll maintain the number 1 seed. They'll get that easily.
Yeah. All right, well, we're going to have to wait until Friday. We are taking tomorrow off, of course. Go ahead and follow me and Ravage on Twitter. We're going to be playing Smite all day tomorrow since we have nothing but time, and we'll be talking about the matches on Twitter, too. Ravage, have a good night, and everyone at home, thanks for joining us. We'll see you Friday.